Moving on to our next product, Pure Pro Products, is Netical Patch, and I have to say Netical Patch probably has the most interesting story to its origin, and then from there on how it's helped many of the athletes. Dan, could you tell us a little bit about how Netical Patch evolved?
I'll give you a little history.
That's what I want to hear.
And I mean history. Back in the old days when the Romans were on the move, they carried the nettles on wagons into battle, traveling along behind the Roman legions as they attacked.
Were you there?
I wasn't out there, but my dad told me all about it. And they did so because it was such a natural pain reliever and enabled the people to get right back into the fray. The discovery was long dormant until Don Scott, a gentleman farmer from down in Bremen, Ohio, who is truly defines the word gentleman. I mean, he can afford to do anything he wants. He found nettles in his field when his tractor broke down, and he was basically crippled from bad knees. He had to walk back to his house about a mile in the rain. And by the time he got back there, the nettles, which is just a giant thistle, it occupied the whole field. He wasn't even sure what it was. He had all kinds of little stickers in him, but he had no pain in his knees. And so he undertook to make this an application. And he developed the Netical Patch over about a dozen years and many millions of dollars. And now he selected us to be one of the people to help market it for him. Dr. Gladstone McDowell, one of the leading pain researchers in the world, he's one of 37 doctors, I think it's on the International Congress of Pain in the world, thinks that this may be the best natural pain reliever he's ever seen. And like all our products, nutraceutical or herbaceutical, which is what nettles is that these are all natural products. I mean, there really is no downside to using them other than the fact if you use them on a basis as your customers might, you better wrap them because they do stain. We're working to overcome that. Don is a little bit resistant to some of the solutions we think we can provide because he thinks it may negate the effect. But in the interim, Dr. McDowell has been using on his palliative medicine patients. That's people, he's a cancer surgeon, and,
sure.
And that's for people that are on their deathbeds. And he's been using that and applying it to the point of the most pain, and it's been enabling them to live a higher quality of life during their last days by virtue of the fact they don't need to have morphine and some of these other high-powered drugs in them. So the research is beginning with that market in mind. For the purposes of your market here, this is something that I would simply say that I mean, here we're in football season. For the aches and pains of a normal football season, you should apply the nettles. You have training facilities, you have training rooms, you have wraps, you have people that can put it on. Usually for the toughest parts, in 3 days the pain's gone. Some places in the neck, as a matter of fact, we did a commercial for Fox News, not really a commercial, but an inquiry for Fox News several weeks ago, and Don put a patch on the anchor's neck. She said she had a sore neck. And it was about a 5-minute interview, and at the end of it he asked her how her pain was, and she said it was gone.
Amazing.
So, you know, she didn't have to say that,
right.
but it was gone. Right. And so, you know, this is something that if I was a coach, or if I was a player, or if I was a trainer, I would explore the potential of the Netical Patch. I mean, I cannot advocate it more. And I know, as we mentioned, Ron Kramer, he had not a very high quality of life for the last several years, and he used it consistently, and it provided immediate relief to him. So
absolutely, another outstanding product. And I guess going back to the original story, we're very fortunate that a gentleman farmer who happened to be a doctor took the results of his little journey into the field and turned this product into an outstanding product.
Well, he's not a doctor. He's
Oh,
not-
I was thinking he was a doctor.
No, Dr. McDowell's a doctor. Don Scott envisions himself as a doctor, but he's an archaeologist. He's one of the leading antique dealers in the world. He has the largest antique shows in the world at the Atlanta Convention Center, which he owns. And so he's a dabbler, but he has found something, and we're going to help him get it out there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan.